So what makes a great summon? Is it the ability to wreak utter devastation? Is it the summoning animation that's either intricate or succinct, or a fine balance between the two? Maybe it's the overarching impact on the gameplay and story of a role-playing game. Well, let's take a look at 15 of the best summons in RPGs and what makes them so good. Judgment, Golden Sun. Djinns in Golden Sun were fairly straightforward, but combining them wielded some devastating results. The true power move was utilizing 4 of the same element to bring in the heaviest of hitters. While the main difference is the amount of damage dealt by a specific element, Judgment is still perhaps the most iconic. There's nothing quite like a winged knight with a lion shield decimating everything on the surface in spectacular yet quick fashion. Bahamut, Final Fantasy X. Whether it's Final Fantasy VII Remake or almost any other title in the franchise, Bahamut is often considered the most powerful summon. Final Fantasy X's version is no different. As the most powerful Aeon in storyline, Bahamut's Mega Flare is one of the few techniques that can break the damage limit. This means it goes beyond the usual 9,999 damage cap and even removes all positive status effects while delaying the enemy. GORO MAJIMA, Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Time to call a friend! I summon you!
What would a Yakuza RPG be like without the ability to summon previous legendary gangsters? Among these, Kiryu is perhaps the favorite since he has the chance to instantly KO all foes, but Majima is Majima. Who doesn't want to see the lovable maniac do what he does best? There's also a chance to paralyze those who survive, thus allowing Ichiban and crew to finish the job. Iris, Golden Sun the Lost Age. Golden Sun the Lost Age is where summons get properly crazy. By mixing djinns of different elements, various summons could be used, each causing different status elements and elemental damage. 5 sit as the top as the ultimate summons, and Iris is the strongest of them all, obtainable only by beating the toughest boss in the game. She deals 800 Mars damage and an additional 40% damage equivalent to an enemy's max HP, revives all party members at full health, and raises the Mars and Mercury power of the one summoning her. All it takes is 13 djinn and a dream. Knights of the Round, Final Fantasy VII. The only summon that dwarfs Bahamut, at least in Final Fantasy VII, is Knights of the Round. Getting it isn't easy. A gold chocobo or defeating emerald weapon is required, but it's definitely worth it. It essentially summons 13 knights that deal about 130,000 damage to a single enemy, completely ignoring their defenses. Such is its power that Square Enix seemingly wanted to discourage its use against Genova Synthesis, giving more health to Bizarro Sephiroth and safer Sephiroth in the process. Persona series. While Persona are essentially their wielder's personality made manifest, it's hard to deny their properties as summons. They're called forth in much the same manner and deal damage based on their properties. Protagonists throughout the series have had their own signature persona. Izanagi for Yu, Arson for Joker, and so on. However, they also possessed the ability to switch between different persona and even fuse them together, making this more than your cut and dry summoning method. Stitch, Kingdom Hearts 2. If there was an award for weirdest but most effective summon, Stitch from Kingdom Hearts 2 would definitely be it. When summoned, he doesn't jump into the battle, but hangs out on the UI, breaking the fourth wall to restore Sora's MP and HP by licking the respective meters. Stitch can also shoot down enemy projectiles and stun foes for health orbs, on top of dealing great damage with his limit attack. ZODIARK, Final Fantasy XII. The strongest Esper in the game without question, ZODIARK relies on the power of darkness. Obtaining him is optional, but as a level 3 Esper, he can use Banish Ray to inflict strong dark element damage. Final Eclipse deals a whopping 50,000 damage, and it completely ignores Reverse, which causes attacks to heal and vice versa. Even with how challenging he can be, ZODIARK is well worth the effort to obtain. Thanatos, Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion isn't the first or even the 10th game you'd go to for your hack and slash fix, but Thanatos is still incredibly cool. In the beginning, you see its incredible power for yourself, ping-ponging enemies back and forth with its force combos before smashing them down. Its assist is also very good, firing homing missiles that cause excellent damage. Though it needs crests to return to its former strength, Thanatos is just a great summon to have all around. SIMBA, Kingdom Hearts 3.
2. Give me strength!
Summons, or links, in Kingdom Hearts 3 can be hugely beneficial, restoring health while providing invulnerability during their duration. SIMBA is perhaps the strongest. Along with being fairly quick, SIMBA can jump and land on foes, damaging them with fire or use Firaga Roar for area of effect damage. His finishing attack hits all enemies in the arena for massive damage as well. When it comes to the toughest fights near the end, SIMBA is a great go-to. ANIMA, Final Fantasy X. Even with Bahamut towering over the roster in Final Fantasy X, ANIMA is still an incredibly powerful Aeon, capable of dealing over 1.5 million damage with a single combo. She can also insta-kill foes with pain. Even if they're death resistant, the attack can still bypass defenses and deal insane damage. The Dragon King may be the strongest Aeon story-wise, but ANIMA is more than capable at holding her own, and looking absolutely wicked while doing so. Knight LAUTREC, Dark Souls. While other NPC summons like Solaire of Astora and Sigmire of Katarina are more famous, Knight LAUTREC has his fair share of fans. Upon rescuing him, LAUTREC can help against the Bell Gargoyle and Gaping Dragon, and is necessary in the quest to revive Anastasia of Astora. Granted, he's the one who killed her in the first place, but the overall process is necessary to eventually rekindle the Firelink Shrine. Queen Killer, Bloodborne. Queen Killer may look like a discount Pyramid Head without the Executioner's Blade, but he wields Logarius' Wheel, has a cannon to fire from range, and can take a beating. Like, really take a beating. Unleash him in one of the tougher chalice dungeons and marvel at his ability to not die. There's just no denying his appeal even if more capable hunters are available. Leviathan, Final Fantasy VIII. While one will always gravitate towards the top tier summons, there's something to be said for the mid to high tier ones as well. In Final Fantasy VIII, Leviathan is definitely the latter. As a Guardian Force, it has some decent abilities and offers strong water damage, but its most underrated ability as a summon is Tsunami, which will instantly kill smaller foes. Londor Pale Shade, Dark Souls 3. The Londor Pale Shade can be very favorable in a number of different boss fights, whether you summon him before Pontiff Solivan or Soul of Cinder. However, the player's relationship with Yuria of Londor is what makes him the most interesting. If you become Yuria's ally, then the Shade will also help you. Conversely, if you're not, he'll appear as an invader. With Mannequin Claws and the Morion Blade, the Londor Pale Shade has cool enough weapons to match his usefulness. Just remember to get on his good side. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.